What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Real Reds Talk. It is your Crystal Palace preview. We're definitely going to get into that, but we've literally just had some breaking news within the past hour and a half, which we've been live for already, but obviously we definitely want a second opinion on it. We've got Sam here with us, so I'm just going to read out basically the tweets that dropped before from the Dickinson Times, and then we'll get Sam's opinion on that. So, Ineos have entered the tender procedure to buy Manchester United. Sir Jim Ratcliffe confirmed that he is officially in the running to buy the club from the Glazers. A spokesman for Ineos has said, we have formally put ourselves into the process, bidding war basically for Manchester United. They are the first to go public on interest in buying. Now we will see who the other interested parties are, rumoured to be Middle East, Asia and the United States. But so Jim's put his pawn out there first on the chessboard. Sam, what are your thoughts on this?
First thought, so why does this always happen when we're not ready to go live? This shit always goes on, doesn't it? It's really infuriating that they can't wait for me to finish work. Of all the people that I would like to bid for Man United, he's probably top of the list. He's obviously there's no clean billionaires, as we've spoke about many times on this channel. But he's probably the one that I have least of an issue with, and that I'd be okay continuing to support the club if he was to own the club. So yeah, if the bid is genuine, I'm happy about that. Obviously, it depends on how it's going to be structured. Is it just him and his company? Is it going to be other investors? Is he going to be the lead investor and he's going to be the chairman with other investors, etc.? I don't know how it's going to be structured, so that'll be interesting to see. And then, just because he's bidding doesn't mean he'll get it, because, like we said, he could bid, say, $6 billion, and then the Saudis could come in and go, well, we'll just give you 10. And obviously the Glazers are going to go with the 10 because that's the most money and that's what they do. So yeah, that's the issue. And then also, is he going to invest more in the club? Because obviously we need so much more investment in the club. The stadium needs fixing / do we need a new stadium? Training ground needs upgrading. Squad needs investment. The women's team needs investment and all that sort of stuff. So, and scouting network, etc. All these investments, so it costs a lot of money. Is he prepared to put that in and then more besides over the years to keep the club at the top where we want it to be? And then the other side is, how is he going to be as an owner? Are we going to have like a Farhad Mashiri type Everton owner who's just ran that club into the ground?
Isn't it? Like, they can have all the money in the world, but
if you don't hire the right people, if you don't hire the right people, as much as I don't like the owners of Newcastle and what they represent, the Saudi investment, etc., they've hired football people. They've stayed out of it, and they've hired football people. They got Dan Ashworth in, who's very, very highly regarded at Brighton, and he worked for England. We've got Eddie Howe, an up-and-coming manager he's not a superstar manager, but he's good. Yeah, and they're building the right way. It's like, is Jim Ratcliffe going to do that? He's already got a fantastic manager in place. He's got some decent players. Is he going to build on that, or is he going to be like I said, a Mashiri and just start buying Gylfi Sigurdsson for 50 million, James Rodriguez, getting Carlo Ancelotti in and just throwing shit at the wall? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. He's the one I'd rather it obviously be fan ownership, but that's a pipe dream. He's the one I have less of an issue with. But let's see what happens. This could be the first domino to fall, couldn't it? He's announced his bid, so now all the other ones might go, we need to get in now. So we'll see what happens.
Exactly. They're the first kind of cog of the wheel to move in terms of public buyers. I know you touched on he's kind of your favourite of the list of people that are investing there, but out of the owners, you got to think, like, if the buy's involved, you've got a couple others from Asia, from the US. It's gonna, like you said, it's just gonna be a bidding war, isn't it? It's just gonna be $5 billion, because the Times, the same people who reported this, have reported that the Glazers are looking for $5 billion. But we've also heard other figures like 6, 7, upwards of like $9 billion, some ridiculous things. So do you think it'll be basically start at 5, see who bids the highest, and work it like that?
It could well be. It could well be. Obviously, we know the Glazers are all about money, and we know that's pretty much all they give a shit about, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to be doing a fair and proper test, are they? They're not going to be like, who is the best club to leave these hands in? It's just like, how much money can we walk away in our pockets? So yeah, it could be a bidding war. they did say, didn't they, when they were speaking about, I can't remember, was it The Athletic? They were saying they were going to sell it within the first quarter of the year, to just before the end of financial year this year, which is in April normally. So then they would avoid any sort of taxes and that sort of stuff for the next financial year, which obviously the Glazers are always interested in saving money. So yeah, if it's moving this quickly, we could well, over the next couple of days, see a bunch of bids go in, a bunch of consortiums / investors announce intentions to bid, etc. So yeah, it could end up, like you said, a bidding war, and the Glazers are rubbing their hands, I'm sure, if that happens.
Of course. Yeah. Well, one of the things that they came out and said, this is again from the same article, that the Glazers hope that United's resurgence under Ten Hag will help drive up the price of the club for the coming months. Again, doesn't surprise you, that statement. You would think the way things are going at the minute, this is where I'm confused, right? Because you would think the way things are going at the minute, we're probably heading for Champions League football if we keep playing the way we're playing, right? Well, then that isn't decided until May. Maybe obviously it might be a little bit earlier than that, but the latest it can be decided is May, by the end of the season. So how did he judge it off that? Because if you're buying a club, you obviously want to know whether it's going to be in the Champions League or whether it's going to be out of the Champions League, because it's probably a 50 million to 100 million difference. So that's why I'm so skeptical and thinking I don't think it'll be. The reports are saying it'll be done by March, end of March. But I'm still skeptical, thinking I think just before the summer it'll probably be done, because then they'll know, surely.
It could well be. They could have. It could be a case of like they submit bids, they select a bidder, and then they write into an agreement of that they take over in the summer on these conditions. For example, say you have to qualify for this, but so they could structure the deal that way. I don't know. I think Manchester United is a little different, because obviously it sounds really big-headed, but we are one of the biggest clubs on the planet in terms of fan power, in terms of global reach, in terms of recognisability, all that sort of stuff. So you're not just buying it for sake, they're in the Champions League to get the money. The brand of Manchester United is a big, big, big pull. If you can own a piece of that and use that to sell merch, sell tickets, revenue, etc., that's something, a little added thing that most clubs don't have. A Chelsea doesn't have that. Liverpool does to a lesser extent, but like a City didn't have that, did they? Like they didn't have a brand recognition across the world. Those kind of clubs. So it's a little different in that sort of aspect. Surveyor's in the chat. He has said his record at Nice, I think he's speaking about Jim Radcliffe, taking over isn't encouraging. They've registered losses every year. Yeah, that's definitely a point. And then Aaron's in the chat as well. For whatever reason, I'm not sold on Sir Jim Radcliffe. So yeah, people not as happy with it. Obviously, I think he will, of the people interested, the rumoured interested, he has the least money. He's still billionaire, obviously.
Well, his company's worth, I think, 50 to 60 billion, but then you look at the state ownerships that are involved, it's kind of like
untold money, innit? It's just endless money. Like we know City is mega rich and they have like endless funds, and then the people who bought Newcastle have 50 times what they have.
So but the thing is, I was thinking about this. Todd Bowley's net worth's only 5 billion. Yeah, something like that. I'm seeing what he's doing in the market at the minute.
He's going mental. He's losing his
mind. I just to put it out there, I definitely do not want that. That is the last thing I want. I don't want some crazy cat coming in and just going like boom, 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 throwing money at everything, because Ed Woodward did that at times and it just did not work at all. But this is the point. I don't know the financial background enough to say that suffice for a club to compete with City, to compete with Newcastle. I feel like I need more detail. There's not. This has been the only kind of spark since that news broke, if you remember, back in November.
Yeah, there's the two sides of it, isn't there? So for me, the biggest part of it is the morality and the human side of it. That's the biggest part for me. And Sir Jim Radcliffe is the more human, more moral side as an owner. If you look at it, pure investment and the money in the backing to just chuck a shit ton of money at this club and make it the best in the world, then obviously you got to go Saudi, Dubai, Qatari investment. You've got to go there because they're the ones with the deepest pockets. But then you've got to look at human rights, the way they treat people. I know you got into the Crown Prince of Saudi and the the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, the journalist. He chopped him up in a Turkish embassy for speaking out against the Saudi government. So these are the kind of people who are going to be taking over your club. So do you sacrifice that huge, massive wedge of money that you could buy Mbappe, you could buy the best players in the world, have the best stadium in the world, best training ground, and win every trophy, but the people who own your club are killing people for being gay, stoning women for adultery, and killing journalists who speak out against them, and you're using your club as a sports washing thing to make people believe this shit isn't happening.
Yeah,
that's the sort of balance beam you've got to put yourself on, and obviously everybody has their own personal opinion and line to draw.
Yeah, of course.
So.
What would you say to people who's like, I don't know, I don't care who, as long as Manchester United win, they're at the top. We come by things every day that are morally wrong. I know there's obviously a scale to it, but someone who comes out and says that, a United fan, what would you say to them about
that? It's your opinion, man. Like, it's your choice of morality. Like, I know Newcastle, they were saddled with Mike Ashley for a long time and very much unhappy. The way he treated the club, like basically like a Sports Direct shop, didn't he, really?
Mm-hmm.
They were not happy with him, hated pretty much everything he did, and he refused to let go of the club, much like the Glazers have done to our club. So I understand why they were like, any owner is better than Mike Ashley, and I'm sure a lot of United fans are getting to that point where they're just like, look, I don't care, as long as the Glazers go, I don't care. Yeah. And if we get to spend a shit ton of money, even better. So I'm sure a lot of people like that, if you're okay with that and you can live with that and you can sort of blissfully live in, not ignorance, but just park it over there because it's not happening in front of you, that's up to you.
Yeah.
Like, decide what you would do. Obviously, everyday life, like you're right, we go through things where any sort of clothing you buy, there's slave labor attached to it, or Starbucks don't pay taxes, get away with billions in profit. Google don't pay taxes.
I do like a Starbucks coffee as well. I've got to throw it out there.
We all Google, most of us use every single day, don't pay taxes. Yeah. So it's just there's no.
It's where the line is, isn't it? It's a minefield.
There's no ethical way to consume anything anymore, because otherwise everything would be costing an absolute fucking fortune. So it's just about where you draw your line. That's what it comes down to. And I'm not going to begrudge anybody for doing what they want to do. As long as you're not committing the atrocities yourself, then obviously that's a different state of affairs. But like, I don't begrudge anybody. I don't begrudge the Newcastle fans for the way they are. Don't begrudge City fans because obviously they had a miserable time while United were winning everything. So yeah, it is what it is. For me, if a Saudi one came in, that's when I'd have to question. I'd have to look and be like, do I still want to carry on supporting this club?
And
we'll see.
Certainly let us know, guys, how you feel about this
There's some comments. Takeover. There's some comments. Marky Mark prefers to Jim Radcliffe, just don't want another Glazer Woodward saga. Yeah, we definitely don't want that. Need to upgrade Old Trafford and Carrington. Investment needed desperately. Agreed. Looking forward to tomorrow's fixture against Palace, but Eric Ten Hag must not gamble with Casemiro. We need him on Sunday. Oh yeah, because Casemiro's a one yellow away, isn't he, from being suspended? Correct. So, Dan Raj in the chat, higher the bid, lowers the amount we spend in the summer. Possibly. Yeah, very much possibly.
Yeah. Well, whoever it is who's coming in is going to need deep pockets, like we suggested before. Investment in the stadium, training ground, players. Our wage bill's ridiculous. It's a lot of money. It's a long-term thing. So, we'll expect more developments on this when we do get them. Obviously, we'll go live like we have done today. I do think the move's very interesting from Jim Ratcliffe, going public first. I feel like it's kind of form of jockeying with the fans, like you know what I mean? Like
get them on your side.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like we said, we'll have more developments on that. Our original show planned was the Palace preview. So yeah, we'll dive into that, and if anything else breaks, we'll touch on it as well. So make sure you stay tuned, and yeah, let's jump in the comment section and let us know what you think about this game. Right, we've got obviously for United, Sam, we've got 5 on the bounce in the league for us, just fresh off a Manchester derby win. Sticking with the theme of Manchester, we've got a Mancunian on the show, of course. I had an intro and everything. I don't know why I'm doing an intro because we've been live for fucking 15 minutes. basically, we're in a killer mode at the minute. The games are flowing. How are you feeling going into this one, Sam?
Yeah, it's positive, isn't it? Like, we've not lost for, it seems like, forever. Say what you want about the win over City, controversial or not, it was fucking great. And I absolutely loved every single minute of it. And yeah, one of the best sort of matches to watch this season, Liverpool aside. You always want to beat your rivals, and to beat them at home and to beat them and put yourself on the cusp of a possible title challenge is insane. I'm not saying we are. I'm not saying we can.
Hold it. We'll get into that. I want to get into that chat. Definitely. And I want to discuss it with other people as well.
So yeah, it was a great, absolute fantastic game. All I've done is watch Rashford's goal on repeat for the last couple of days. The Garnacho twist and thing. I've just watched that on repeat. I've watched on repeat Rafael Varane jump in the crowd and hug people and scream at them, and then do that at the end. I've watched Casemiro grab all the two kids in the crowd and scream at him, and then grab another guy down the thing and scream at him. So yeah, it's been absolutely.
Have you seen Casemiro on the sideline where he's trying to get back on the pitch, and he's like, there's the assistant behind him. He's trying to get back on, and he's just like, you can't go on yet, and he's like, fuck off, like shaking him off. Like you've got to love the passion in a minute.
I love as well Lissandro. When he was warming up and we scored the goal, and he's just going absolutely ballistic, which just shows you the team mentality. He's not even played, and he's lost his place through no other fault other than he's won a World Cup and he's gone to celebrate, and he's lost his place to Luke Shaw, and he's fucking delighted about United winning because he cares about the team. That shows you the fucking difference. Like, if that was Ronaldo warming up, he's not going to be doing that, is he? Like, he's not.
Like,
yeah. So you know what I mean? So it's just, that's the feeling I'm getting for this team, and this is what Erik ten Hag's created, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it.
The lovable characters, aren't they? Players like Lissandro and Casemiro just brought a completely different vibe. Just if anyone's wondering, we will have a live watch along for this game tomorrow. So if you join us an hour beforehand, join me an hour beforehand. Sorry, I'll be live on TikTok and YouTube for the full game. So make sure you come and join me on that. Let's kick this preview off then, Sam, with a few warm up questions. Can you name 3 players who play for both Manchester United and Crystal Palace? People in the comment section as well get involved.
Zaha's the obvious one.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Then I'm struggling.
More recent one we bought in the summer alongside Harry Maguire. Come on.
From Crystal Palace?
Expensive. It's going to click in your head in a minute. You go, fucking hell, how the fuck did I not think that? Defender? Very expensive. Right back. Come on.
Oh, Wan-Bissaka. Fucking hell.
Yeah. There you go.
You know what? He's been in the wilderness for so long, and then so good. I've just forgotten completely. Yeah. And then I'm going to have to rack my brain for a third one.
A couple of the other ones are very hard. You've got one. You've got a couple, but I probably wouldn't be able to get him. Well, we've got a keeper recently. I don't think you can.
Butland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacques Butland. Fraser Campbell.
That was gonna be my next one. I remember Fraser Campbell. Yeah.
One I completely forgot about. Fosu Mensah. Remember Fosu Mensah?
Oh shit, Timothy Fosu Mensah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's another one, and then one more which I was not alive. I don't think he was alive. Steve Coppell. I think
I know the name.
United.
Didn't he manage?
Yeah.
He managed some teams in the Premier League.
I think so.
West Brom, I think.
Yeah, so not many, but there's a couple there standout ones that we recognise. What's the highest Crystal Palace have ever finished in the Premier League, do you think? If you just take a guess.
I'm sure didn't finish like 9th or 10th or something?
10th.
Yeah.
10th, yeah. Under Alan Pardew, 2014 to 15.
Hell, Alan Pardew, man.
Alan Pardew.
7-year contract at Newcastle, and then got fired a year later after he got the contract.
Yeah. Mr. Pardew. Yeah. And finally, name one player you would take from their team to replace one of ours.
I like that the defender Gahey. I like him a lot. He's very, very good. And then they've got the other talented youngster. I can't remember his name.
At centre back.
Is he a centre back?
I don't know. I don't know if you're on about midfielder or centre back.
Because I know Gallagher was on loan, so he doesn't count.
He was so good for them. I bet they're really missing him.
He'll pop into my head, or I'll figure it out. But yeah, there was another guy. Let me Google the You carry on. I'm gonna Google the Crystal
I've got the
Palace
squad here. Ewu, Edouard. You like Edouard, don't you? As well.
yeah, but he's not done
Big
much since he come. Like, since he's come to the club, I thought he was going to do better because he did absolute bits at Celtic. He was absolutely smashing it up, and he's just come. He's not really done anything. It's been a bit disappointing. Elise, that's the one. That's the guy I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron Gregory in the chat for bringing it up. Elise, yeah, he's a very good player. I like him.
Yeah, they've got some young talent there. And in regards to the game tomorrow, obviously this is our first actual meeting with Crystal Palace this season. I believe we've only Palace and Leeds to play once we played everyone once. The only teams that beat us in them 18 games was Brighton and Brentford at the start of the season, which I think we all remember, and we'd rather not. And then Man City and Aston Villa as well. But since the Aston Villa game, we haven't lost a single game in any competition. We're in form at the minute, seriously in form. Palace, on the other hand, haven't been in the greatest of form. In the last 5 games, they've won 1 and lost 4. A bit shaky at the minute, so it's probably the best time to play them. They are a little bit down in the dumps. They're currently 12th in the league, 2 points ahead of Nottingham Forest. Do you expect them to still be a tough test, though? Maybe a bit of a banana skin? I'm just going to throw that out there with a bit of a banana skin.
I don't think they offer enough to cause a banana skin. I think Patrick Vieira's got him playing well. I think he's a very good coach. He's got him well drilled, tactically sound and stuff like that. I just don't think I think Wilfried Zaha aside, they don't have that massive influx of quality to sort of cause you a shit ton of problems. I think they'll definitely try and frustrate us. I think they'll definitely put up a front where it's going to be hard to break them down, and they'll try and catch us on a counter. I definitely think that'll happen. But in terms of like unrelenting pressure and unrelenting sort of getting battered, I don't see it. I really don't see it. And if you can knock Zaha out of the game, half your job's done, really. That's it. Like, you just got to sort of make sure. And it's easy to do because he's really easy to wind up. He's got a temper. Yeah. Just get Lissandro on him and wind him the fuck up. He will lose. He'll lose his shit. He'll get frustrated, and then he's out of the game. So it's quite an easy thing to do. I think Palace will be fine this season. I don't think they'll have any relegation issues. And Patrick Vieira is a competent coach. If he gets investment and he gets some players the next couple of windows, maybe he could do something. Maybe they can do like a Europa Conference charge or something like that. Maybe they can do something. So it'd be interesting to see. Marky Mark, remember the infamous dancing of Alan Pardew in his technical area when they scored against us in the FA Cup final? I do remember that. That was not. That's fun.
What I mean. There's definitely history in cup competitions and stuff like that. But as far as the Premier League goes, that's interesting as well. I'm gonna actually I'll dive into the history in a second. I just wanted to ask you about Zaha there because you just mentioned him. The 2 obvious threats that they do have are Zaha and Eze. Under previous coaches, we was a bit naive in set games with the transitions. We'd allow players certain space, but with players like Casemiro, Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez, are you confident we can deal with that threat now? There won't be a lapse in concentration just because how well we've been drilled defensively.
Like, Wan-Bissaka is looking like a fucking world beater on that right hand side, isn't he? Like, he's looking insane. So yeah, he's got him on that right side. Malacia, he could have been up there as man of the match for me against City. I think he was up there. I thought he was fantastic. So our flanks, I think, are really safe in their hands. You've got Luke Shaw, who's playing out of his skin at centre-back. And I'm sure if we moved him back to left-back, he'd do an equally fantastic job. Yeah. You got Varane, who is just putting in 8 out of 10s every single week. Like, he's unbelievably... I can't believe people aren't talking about Raphael Varane more. Like, how good this guy is. He's a fucking absolute Rolls Royce of a player. Like, he just.
But you don't notice him that much in the game, do you? That's the only thing about him.
That's what I'm saying. But he'll get his head on stuff. He'll clear it. He'll take the ball out. He'll run. He'll get the pass in. He'll go. He's fucking phenomenal, and I just think he deserves more credit. And
definitely,
I think then you obviously play Luke Shaw at centre back, and then Lissandro's obviously chomping at the bit to come back into this team, I'm sure. And he's been phenomenal all season. So I think our defensive line's sound. I think barring some injuries, I think our defensive line's sorted, which then gives confidence to David De Gea. Obviously, we had the mistake with the leg thing against, is it Forest? He did the leg thing?
No, it wasn't Forest. It was... shit, who was it?
The Wolves.
We can see Everton.
Everton. Yeah, Everton.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
God knows what he was doing. So yeah, obviously that's a slight worry sometimes, but I think that provides real confidence in front of him in our defensive line. And Casemiro has just been. I've run out of words to say about Casemiro. The guy is unbelievable. Unbelievable. But I do think I'm not to spoil my team lineup, but I do think they'll rest him against Palace just because we got Arsenal at the weekend, and if he gets a yellow card, he's done. So
yeah, that's very interesting. The reason, just to go back to the banana skin comment before, the reason why I think it is, I just think it's one of them games. We've been on such a good run so far, and I don't want to curse it. I am touching wood, believe me when I say it. Right now, I'm touching wood. But I just think it's one of them games where it could lapse concentration. We could just slip up. Zaha, Eze. And I said it about the Villa game, and I said it about the Newcastle game as well, twice, both before the games. I'm hoping we don't, but I've just got that feeling. Let's see what happens with that. What one player who could be coming up against his former teammate, Wilfried Zaha, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, came in for a big price tag. I think it's fair to say he didn't exactly live up to it, but we know he has his strengths defensively, and given his form of late, do you think his offensive game is getting better under Ten Hag? And can you see a future for him at United?
Yeah, we've said for ages about Ten Hag and bringing players back from the dead, and he's been able to rejuvenate so many careers. Like he brought in Sebastian Haller from West Ham, who had a terrible time, and then he was the top scorer in the Champions League, and he's ended up with a move to Dortmund, which. Obviously, I think he's just recovered from cancer as well, hasn't he? Actually? So congrats to him. It's good to see that's he's well again. But yeah, so he got his move to Dortmund. He did the same with Tadic as well, didn't he? He made him, and then he's got a reputation for developing players as well. He had his teams picked apart, so Hakim Ziyech, Donny van de Beek, De Ligt, etc. Thousands of players that have been, and then we've stolen some this season as well in Lissandro and Anthony. So you know what I mean? So he's got a reputation for developing players, but I think we all thought even that he can't do it with Wan-Bissaka. Like he doesn't fancy him, does he? He's done. He's not coming back into this team. And then he's played him, and he's looked absolutely fantastic. And against City, especially going forward, he was fucking great. He was doing turns, he was doing drag backs, he was beating a man, he was running past him, he was overlaps. There was some crosses as well. I thought, he was absolutely fantastic. So keep playing him, man. Like if Dallow's not quite there yet, if Dallow's not quite fit, keep playing him. Like why not?
Yeah. I'm happy with him the way he's progressing. I think Ten Hag's he's got his thing, man. He just gets something out of players. He gets the absolute maximum out of players, and I'm absolutely loving it at the minute. When we take a look at the previous history between both teams, Sam, I've got an interesting stat here. In our last 5 games between each other, how many do you think United have won out of them?
How many do you say?
Yes, 5 games. So in the past 5 games against each other in the league, how many do you think we've won?
2.
Yeah. Literally 2. So the most recent fixture, they beat us at their ground 1-0, thanks to a goal from literally Wilfried Zaha, who you think would be starting for them tomorrow night. And then other ones, it's been 1-0s, 2-1s, there's a draw in there. So very mixed. This is what I'm saying. I'm reading into things here. It's kind of it's not a bogey team, but maybe you can put them in that category. The question is, for me and for us, who will be starting tomorrow night? Anthony Martial's obviously a massive doubt going off in the derby. Looked a little bit jaded, didn't he? Straight from the start.
Ten Hag said he didn't train before the game because he wasn't fit, and then they both made a decision that he should start, but then he was making complaints at half time after they come off saying he didn't feel great, he didn't feel right, so that's why they took him off. So it could well be Big Veg could start up front.
Yeah, exactly. Sancho's back in training now as well. Whether that means he'll be on the bench or not, I'm not entirely sure. I'm hoping we can see some minutes from Sancho because he's been away for a while now. So it'd be nice to have it. It'd be like a new signing, literally coming back in January because we haven't seen him for so long. And imagine if we get the Sancho back that was at Dortmund, 16 goals, 18 assists in like a single season. It'd be incredible.
It's the right wing spot's open for him because obviously Anthony has been a bit frustrating lately. just doesn't seem to know that he's got a right foot like, at all. So I think if Sancho came on, say 20 minutes for the end, put in a good performance, and then did a good performance, who we got after Arsenal? Is it Nottingham Forest in the Carabao Cup, innit?
Yeah, you might be right.
So maybe he starts there, puts in a good performance, and then maybe he can claim that right wing spot as his own. You never know. But yeah, it'd be really good to get him back. I'm interested to see if the training and the stuff that Ten Hag's done with him has paid off as much as we hope it has. So it'll be interesting.
Every decision he's made so far has paid off on it, so I don't know why we'd think any different. We also have our new loan signing, Mr. WEGHORST. It's going to be interesting to see if Ten Hag starts him as well. With Martial being out, as we touched on then, would you start him, or do you think it's too soon, maybe?
I think why not? Like, he's been playing football, hasn't he? He's been playing first team football.
I would fucking throw him in there. I would.
He's had a week's training now, I believe, because we got him just after the deadline on the Friday, didn't we? So we couldn't register him for the derby. So he's had like 4 or 5 days now training. So why not? Chuck him in, see what happens. You can always, if he's tiring towards the end or something, you can always switch Rashford into the middle, bring Garnacho on. So why not? Why not do it?
That's a big vote causing problems in the middle there. I would throw him in there. I just think he's got that personality where he can just deal with it. He's played in the Premier League before. It's nothing new to him. Like he won't need time to adapt.
I could see him scoring on his debut as well. I could definitely see it.
Yeah, quite literally. Excited. I'm getting excited the more I think about it. Just a kind of a separate question. I'm not sure if you've seen this. Gary Neville did his usual podcast that he does on a Sunday night after the game. He said United could potentially be in a title race, especially to beat Arsenal on Sunday. Do you subscribe to that theory? Do we have enough depth to compete towards the end? And also let me know in the comments, guys who are watching right now, are we in a title race? Let me know.
Are we in a title race? No. I think I'm with you. I don't think we have the squad depth to deal with winning a title. I think if we had injuries to say a Casemiro or a Rashford, where does that leave us? I don't think then we have the quality to score goals and control the midfield like we have done for the last however many games. I think that's the very worrying part, because then you're left with a Martial who's not firing, an Ante who's not firing, Sancho who we're not sure of his status, Garnacho, which is a lot of pressure to put on the lad, and then a midfield of Bruno, Eriksen, and then Fred or McTominay, which doesn't have quite enough quality in that defensive backline to help us win a title. However, if we were to beat Arsenal and then we keep winning games and we stay injury free and there's an opportunity there, I think we take it. Why not take it? If these opportunities present themselves, you can't just go, we're not ready yet. We can't do it yet. Next year. Like, if the opportunity, if we beat Arsenal and we go on a winning run, which we have done for the last however many games, we've gone on a winning run, and the opportunity presents it, why not take it? Take it with both hands. Like, imagine the scenes of Ten Hag winning a title in his first season.
Don't get me started.
So like, I'll take in a minute. I'll take top 4 in a League Cup trophy at this point.
Oh yeah,
I'll take that. That's fine. But imagine if he could get close to a title win and take it out of Arsenal's hands. Mate, he's a legend already. He's a fucking legend already.
If you think about it last season where we was at, if you was to even consider getting close to a title, not even winning it, if you get close to it and win something, it's got to be one of the greatest improvements a manager's ever made to a team in a single season. It has to be. I know people throw this line out there like, oh, he spent 200 million or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like, the only reason why we spent that money is because we've got incompetent owners, and we could have saved about 50 million on that anyway.
We weren't going to spend that anyway. But it's Ten Hag made them spend it. Ten Hag was like, no, I need this. I need these players. Yeah. And that's the reason they have. Like, we weren't going to get anybody in January, like I said we wouldn't. And Ten Hag's managed to convince him, no, at least get me a loan, or at least get me. And we ended up paying money for WEGHORST anyway to Burnley. So Ten Hag is the reason for all of this. Do I think we'll win a title? No. But again, I didn't expect us to do top 4 this season. I expected 5th. And we're comfortably in the top 4 right now. What are we, 1 point behind City, I think?
Yeah. Well, if City are in a title race.
Yeah. And then Newcastle are 4 points behind us, 3 points behind us. So that's your top 4 right now. So if an opportunity presents itself, I say we take it and we run with it. And if we fall at the last hurdle and we finish second, I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Ten Hag finished second in his first season, then we take a trophy like a League Cup or an FA Cup.
Yeah.
I'll take that
Could you imagine if someone said at the start of the season United and Arsenal are going to be in a title race? Everyone would have said, shut up.
I'd be like, go fuck yourself. Like,
yeah, what are you talking shit for? It's like Marky Mark says there, if we beat the Big Mouse on Sunday, yeah, we are in one, but, squad depth will inevitably will kill us, and I think it will, especially if we get some big injuries to Casemiro and Thinger. I've just seen an interesting development, and it was literally something I wanted to touch on next. So, Fabrizio Romano's just come out and said that Manchester United are absolutely confident that Garnacho's going to sign a new contract. That's contrary to reports I actually had down here that I wanted to discuss about Garnacho. Apparently he's currently on 7k a week at United, and United were kind of trying to lowball him, only offering him 20k on his new one. The question to you was going to be, do you think he deserves more considering his talent and potential? But if Romano's just come out and said that, I'm kind of in a bit of a minefield at the minute. I don't know what to expect, but do you think he'll sign a new contract?
Just let me a couple of these because the comments are going mental. I'll run some comments off. Shreyas saying Nick doesn't want to go down the path right now. I think he's referring to you talking about title race. Marky Mark is saying it's going to be epic. Should we beat Arsenal to the title, or it'd be? I think we should have a show. If we do that, Chivy should have his own show because the fucking.
Oh, we'll give it him. We'll give it.
Yeah.
Let him run for an hour. Yeah, content galore.
And then Sherry say best moments in our history. And then TS7, congrats on 1k, fellas. Thank you so much, mate. Guys like you made it happen, so thank you. Appreciate it. And then, going back to Garnacho, Vince Bullock says he's not on 7k a week, he's on 5. There's rumours around going to... He wants out and go to Real Madrid. Yeah, I've seen stuff flying about, but it was from the Sun, so...
Yeah, just reports,
whatever he's on, if he's on 5 or 7, I don't know. I think he'll sign a new contract. I think Ten Hag has got him playing really well. Obviously, he suffered that ill discipline at the beginning, and Ten Hag dropped him and basically said, look, you've got to start turning up on time or whatever it is he was doing and to get back in this squad, which he did, and he's now playing regularly. He was obviously one of the key components in why we won the Manchester Derby, providing the assist for Rashford, and he provided in the clutch against Fulham as well. I don't even remember that. The last game for the World Cup. Scored a goal. Yeah. So he's a very talented boy, and he's one of my favourite sort of young players coming up through Manchester United. Like, I've spoke his praises so many times. I think he'll sign a new contract. I don't have any worries about him going anywhere else. If he's demanding stupid money,
that's when you're like,
then it's like, all right, maybe we need to just ego check this kid and like, look, if you're demanding this money, see you later, bye bye. Because I don't think we have room for that in the dressing room. We got rid of Ronaldo for that sort of attitude. Pogba's gone because he had that sort of attitude. Jesse Lingard, etc. Don't need that in the dressing room. As talented as you may be, Ten Hag has made it very clear nobody's bigger than the team. And if you don't work for the team, you're not part of the team, you can leave. And I think that's the approach United will take. If Garnacho wants to develop his career and develop his himself as a player, I think he's in the best club with the best manager right now. So I don't see why he won't sign a new contract. But we'll see what happens. I hope we don't lose him because I think he's a fantastic player. But you never know.
It's a sad day for Sam. That would be a sad day for United fans, but sad day for Sam
sad
if you
day
found
for
out.
Me. Next summer, Ahmad and Garnacho leave the club. We're just going to be gutted.
Broke down. Absolutely broken. Gutted. From one contract to another situation that apparently is close to being agreed is Mr. Mentality Man Marcus Rashford, who's obviously completely turned his form around from last season. He's currently on 200k, Sam. So do you offer similar money to Casemiro, Varane, De Gea? And what about the wage cap that was supposed to be coming in, basically a 200k cap? How would that affect that? Because again, that's another minefield. How do you address that situation where he probably deserves it, doesn't he, at the minute?
Yeah, Mikey Mack saying we should keep Garnacho at all costs, but he should be kept grounded in no stupid way. He should be paid to anyone. Yeah, agree with you, mate. Totally agree. Rashford, it's a very tricky situation because last season he was abysmal, like absolutely abysmal. Like I've never seen a player play that bad. And this season he's doing really, really well. He's our top scorer. He's on absolute fire. He scored 9 games in a row, which is equal the record that's stood since like the 60s, I believe.
If he scores 10 in a row,
yeah,
isn't that the best ever?
Yeah, best for United ever. So yeah,
wow.
He's already equaled the record, so he's already up in the history books. But
what was Jamie Vardy's? Was that 11 in a row that he got for them? Because I'm sure he broke a Premier League record doing that because he scored a volley.
Yeah, he's done the Premier League record. So yeah, if he gets 2 more, he's equaled the Premier League record. So guy is absolutely on fire, and I definitely give him a new contract. But again, you can't get into this thing of paying players stupid wages for absolute astronomical fees, and then they have a bad season and you can't shift them.
Yeah,
this is the problem we have with De Gea right now. Like, we want him to sign a new deal. I think he wants to stay. But the guy's on what, $375 a week or something stupid?
I think he is willing to take a pay cut though. I think that's been put out there that he's to drop it down to 200k. Yeah. But then that's what I mean. If you put Rashford's up to 300, then where's the limit with it? Like what do you do with it? Where's the buy? You say right, you're doing what Rashford's doing right now. You will earn that. You'll get that threshold.
I think there has to be a threshold. What that number is, I don't know. I'm not a finance expert, so I don't know what that number is.
Yeah.
He deserves a new contract, and I'd like him to sign a new contract. I'm sure they'll come to some sort of agreement where he gets more than what he's getting now, but he doesn't go into like David De Gea 350-375 a week, which I think is insane for a goalkeeper for one. And then obviously, say Rashford has a bad season next season, you can't sell him because nobody's going to pay that wage. So you're in that same situation that we're on with Phil Jones. Nobody wants to get him because he's on 140k a week or something insane. So it's it's a problem you don't want to have going forward. So you need to pay the wage to keep the player, but you also don't want to overpay and then force yourself into the situation we've been in that Ed Woodward caused with the just stupid contract. What was Alexis Sanchez, like 400 grand a week or something? Insane.
Yeah, I think he's one of the highest paid players, one of 400 to 500, something like that.
We can't be doing that going forward, especially with the club. So yeah, hopefully they come to some agreement. I'm sure Rashford wants to stay. I think he's a United fan at heart. He's a Manchester boy. Ten Hag is coached him to play some of the best football he's ever played at Manchester United, so I think he'll stay. It's just it's all about negotiation. Vince Bullock said Garnacho gets 60 grand a week plus bonuses for goals for excellent behaviour. Possibly. It's a lot of money though for a 17-18-year-old, to be honest. But Aaron Gregory, Vardy broke Rude's 10 in a row with the 11. And then Marky Mark, Rashford's coming from warrants a new contract and a better wage, but I don't think he should get anything more than 250k. So
yeah, I think that's a very smart comment.
Yeah,
I agree with that, absolutely. I have no problem with people getting paid decent money as long as they're earning it.
Yep.
Casemiro, 300k a week, absolutely fine. You can have that all week, the way you're playing at the minute.
He can shag my wife, he can come into my house, take his shit, I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a shit on the floor, I don't mind Casemiro. As long as you keep putting in performances, what you're doing, you're earning it. Same with Varane, vice versa. They're all earning it, but then maybe just keep it at that 300 mark, and that's your threshold, and that's, you know what I mean? If you're top performer, and I'm happy with that. It
happened to Liverpool, didn't it? Like Salah, they had a wage cap, and Salah was looking like he was going to go. I don't know how much he wanted, but it was more than the wage cap, and they gave it to him. And has he played good this season? Has he hit the heights of last season? Has he hit the heights of last season? I don't think so.
He's not. No.
So that's the risk you have. They get the money and then they sit back on the laurels going, well, I'm getting paid, so fuck it, I'm not going to try and earn a new contract. So
Rashford's at the best place he could possibly be at the minute. He's from Manchester, new coach in Ten Hag who's making him play the way he is. He's still not even in his prime years technically yet. So I do expect him to sign it, and United will probably give him 250 to 300. So we'll part that conversation and come back to that when any news breaks around it. What about fringe players? Just the last question before I get into some quick fire ones. We've got Anthony Lango, who's been linked with a move to Dortmund. I'm not sure if that's a loan signing or if it's going to be a permanent.
I think it was a loan signing from what I read.
A loan.
Yeah.
So how would you feel about that? I know he was eager to send him out on loan, wouldn't you? Do you think Dortmund's a good place for him to go?
Perfect youth development, isn't it? Like that's what they do. Yeah. Like you've seen what happened to Sancho. You saw what's happening to Bellingham right now. Obviously, I'm not putting Elanga in that bracket, but they're very well known for developing young players and turning them into something that they can sell on for a good lot of money, or they turn into world beaters, or just sell them to Bayern Munich, which is what normally happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Best German Dortmund players just get developed at Dortmund, and then Bayern Munich go, yeah, we'll have that. We'll have that.
Monopolised, basically.
Yeah.
Goetze, Lewandowski, and the rest.
So, yeah, I think it'd be a great loan for him. Another country, working at a team that knows how to develop youth. He'll get game time, I hope, which is what he's lacking at the minute. I think he got overplayed in a United team that was playing poorly under Solskjaer, and that stunted his development quite a lot. I don't think he's United caliber, but I'm willing to be proved wrong, and maybe that the loan is the option. Maybe the loan to Dortmund provides him a fresh sort of breath of life, starts playing well, comes back to us, and we can either then sell him for a good fee, or he integrates into the team because we've got him playing well and we've got another option. I think for me, he's not United caliber, but who knows? Let's let him go out on loan, because I think we've got cover on that right hand side. I think we've got Anthony, we've got Sancho, Rashford could play out there, Garnacho could play out there. I think we'll be all right.
We've also got on the right hand side another player, a young player in Facundo Palestre.
Yep.
His agent's having talks with United this week to find out if he's going to stay or go on loan. Lots of clubs interested. I know it was only a small cameo the other day, so I can't remember who it was against. Was it against Charlton when he came on?
Yeah.
But judging from what you've seen, how would you, if you're Ten Hag now, do you keep him on? Because I thought he looked decent when he did have a chance. If he can sustain that kind of performances over a 45-minute period, I'd be happy to keep him on.
I'd be happy to keep him. It's just, is he going to get time? Is he going to get game time with us? Because you've got so much competition on that right-hand side. Like I said, at the minute, you got Elanga. So the top, the order that at the minute is like Anthony's first pick at the minute. Sancho's probably second if he's in and around Elanga, and then it's probably Palestre in it.
Okay.
So it's fourth choice. So he's probably not going to get cup games. It's going to be Elanga or Sancho. So it's
shame he isn't a striker.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I thought he looked bright when he came on. I thought he looked really, really good. He provided the assist, obviously, for the goal, which is great. I'm sure Shreyas is going to curse me out for this, because I know Shreyas is a massive, massive Palestre fan.
Yeah.
Chivy is very confused about what anybody sees in Palestre, because he had a. I think he's a believer now, because he was going on for ages. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand what the hell. And then he saw the cameo and he's like, okay, I see.
Yeah.
What it is now.
Talented.
Very talented kid. If he's not going to get game time, let him go on loan. Let him get some experience. Let him get some time, improve. And then again, same thing with Lang. If he comes back and Ten Hag's like, right, I was impressed with what I saw, because I know he's spoken about Ahmad, and he said he didn't expect this level from him when he went. But now he's really, really impressed, but he wants to keep him out there and keep it going, and then assess when he comes back. So we could do the same thing with Palestre, let him go to a team, let him play minutes, games in, games out, play minutes, and then when he comes back in the summer, Ten Hag can assess it and go, okay, I'm going to keep you, you're going to be integrated into the team, or we can sell you, etc. So, yeah, I'm happy for him to go out alone. I think he's a very talented kid. I'd love to see more of him, but again, if he's not going to get game time, there's just no point in keeping him around, because he's just going to get frustrated, and it's not good for anybody.
Yeah. Not a bad headache to have, though, is it? Having young players like Garnacho, Palestre, Ahmad, like these guys, and we know what Ten Hag can do with young talent. So you never know. Could be a couple there for the future in our forward line.
If we get in, like Anthony gets an injury, Sancho gets an injury, he might get his opportunity, because that's what happened with how Rashford brought into the team. It's how Garnacho brought into the team. So you never know. Like, things happen, injuries happen, people fall out, etc. So you never know. But yeah, at the minute, the way things are going, I think a loan's probably the best option for him. I don't want to sell him right now. I don't think we should sell him. I think there's a talent there. So.
Yeah. Well, apparently there's a lot of big clubs that are in for him, the likes of Valencia. There's a couple.
Valencia would be a good loan. That'd be a good. That's a good level.
There's a few big clubs in for him, so I think maybe we'll end up going out on loan. I'm not sure. Maybe Ten Hag liked what he saw, and he's like, look, I'll play you, because the only thing that's making me doubt that slightly is the fact of how much money they've invested in Anthony. So he's kind of a shoe-in to start on that right-hand side, and unless he gets injured, like you said.
Maybe if Elanga goes out on loan, maybe they keep him. Maybe keep him around because then he's the backup. Because obviously if Sancho can't work his way back in, you've then only got Anthony. So maybe if Elanga goes out, maybe they keep Palestri around, or maybe they both go out. I'm not sure.
The last one I wanted to touch on very quickly was just Charlie McNeil. I'm just happy for him to go out and get some game time as well, because he scored a lot of goals, and he obviously chose United over City. It's time for him to go out there and go show something, because we've only seen it in the youth team. He needs to get some experience, doesn't he?
Yeah, the kid's talented. He played really well in the FA Youth Cup at Old Trafford when I saw him. So I think he needs time. Maybe go down to the Championship or something like that. Play men's football, sort of earn a bit and stuff like that. Maybe that's the way to go, because I don't think I think it's a bit too much pressure to put on the kid. This season, put him in the first team as the number 9. It's a bit too much. So send him on loan. I'm happy with that. And best for all parties, I think. Come back, and then summertime gets to be assessed by Ten Hag, and then see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited for the summer. Lots of things that are going on at the minute with new ownerships, and which we did touch on by the start of the way, and we've got a previous video, so if any of you guys missed it, make sure you check it out after this one. I want to bring it back to the game slightly, and we'll do some quick fire questions. Again, people in the chat, get involved and let me know what you think. The first question I've got for you, Sam: will Crystal Palace score tomorrow night?
No, I think we'll keep a clean sheet.
Okay. Will Sancho be on the bench?
Hope so. It'd be good if he is. Yeah, I hope so.
Well, what's your inkling telling it? Yes or no? We'll be on.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll get on. No, I don't think he'll get on. But I hope he's on the bench, because I want to see him back, and I want to see him playing. So
yeah, me too. We love you, Jaden. Will WEGHORST start or come off the bench?
I think he'll start, because Anthony Martial didn't look fit. He didn't train before the City game, and then he came off at half time. So I'm thinking. And this is the perfect game, innit, to set WEGHORST up. Like, you don't want to throw him in against Arsenal for his first game, so it's a bit of a rough ride, but this is a perfect layup for him, so why not give him the opportunity to see what he can do?
Come on and baby, vout, you make me want to vout. We're going to start some new chants off for him.
He's red, his feet stick out the bed. Big Veg. Big Veg.
Love it. Here's the continuous one that's going on at the minute. Hot streak. The important question: will Marcus Rashford score again?
Yeah. Let's break the record. Let's fucking have it.
Yeah. Will we score 2 or more?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Random one. Would you take Zaha on a free in the summer?
Nah, we've been down this road.
Okay.
He had his opportunity, and then allegedly shagged David Moyes' daughter. Allegedly.
Moisey!
Yeah. So I think the club was too big for him. I think he works as a big fish in a small pond. I don't think he can make that step up. I think he had his opportunity a few summers ago. Was it Arsenal came in for him?
Everton, I think it was, actually.
I know Everton, but Arsenal came in for him as well.
You might be right. I'm not sure.
He had his opportunity. I know he's leaving. Isn't he leaving this summer? His contract's up, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. He's on a free.
Yeah. So I don't know who would sign him. Do you know who would you say would sign him? Who would pick him up?
I don't know. I
Villa?
don't know if a top 6 would go into someone like that. Like probably, yeah. I imagine. But then, like, are you progressing? No, because they've got Richarlison, Kowalewski. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe a Villa, that might be.
Todd Bowley will probably get him. There you go.
Yeah. Anyone just mention that they're going to buy him, and he'll fucking like, I'll buy him.
Yeah.
I'll buy him.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Aaron's saying in the chat, wait, I'm meant to be negative now that Sam's the positive one. Yeah, get your role right, Aaron. Start telling us we're going to lose. Let's keep
3-0 to Palace, Aaron's saying. Predicted 11s. I'm going to do it quickly. I might need to... Yeah, have I got enough charge? I'm laptop's on 10%, so just thinking, have I got enough time? I think I'm
take your mic out, switch it out.
No, I've got the thing here, but the charger's in there, so I'm just like a bit risky.
While I'm going through mine, you go get your charger.
Yeah. Right, I'll go with predicted 11. David De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Lisandro back in. I feel like Lisandro will be back in. Yeah. Luke Shaw, I think Casemiro starts alongside Eriksen and Bruno. Anthony, Weghorst, or Mr. Workhorse, as I call him, and Rashford on the left-hand side. Please let me know yours, and in the comment section, very quickly, whilst I get me charger.
So I'm gonna go with David De Gea. I think he'll start in net. I think we'll see Wan-Bissaka on the right. I think we will see Lisandro get some minutes. I think Varane carries on. I think Malacia will probably get another opportunity back at left back, because I think they're going to play Luke Shaw at centre back again against Arsenal. I think they save Casemiro for Arsenal, so I think Casemiro will be rested. So I'd probably say Fred, Eriksen and Bruno, and then I'd say Rashford on the left, big Weghorst up top, and Anthony on the right. But hopefully Jadon Sancho gets a cameo at some point during the game. That'd be nice.
Boom. Perfect timing. Do you want to quickly tell me again? So sorting.
De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lisandro, Varane, Malacia. I think they rest Shaw for Arsenal.
Okay.
Fred, rest Casemiro for Arsenal. Fred, Eriksen, Bruno, Rashford, Weghorst, Anthony.
That's not a bad shout at all, I don't think. Yeah, could possibly be that. What about score predictions? I'll let you go first on that.
I will go with 3-0. I think it'll be a while to break him down. I think we score early in the second half, and then the floodgates open, and we just put a couple past them.
Interesting. I said it's going to be a banana skin. I don't want to be negative and say a draw, but I'll just say 1-0, and I think it'll be like a set piece. So I've just got this feeling it's not going to be a very exciting game. I think it'll be controlled. We'll probably get a free kick similar to how Casemiro scored against Bournemouth, and we'll score like that. Just a prediction. But what do I know about predictions? We'll find out.
Like we said against City, I'll take it bouncing off Rashford's arm.
Oh yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah. It's one of them. It feels like Arsenal's the big one on Sunday, innit? Yeah. If we get past this test, I am fucking so interested for that game on Sunday. I cannot wait to see what happens there, because we've already done them once.
Arteta's shitting himself.
Yeah, we're the only team to beat him so far. So that will be playing on their minds. Of course, likewise, we're going to have the watch along for the game tomorrow, so make sure you join us an hour before it kicks off, obviously for team news, etc. I'll be live on TikTok and YouTube for that. We're going to have the review of the Arsenal game. We're going to have that on Saturday. The game's
not a review of the Crystal Palace game.
Yeah, the review after the game as well. Apologies, me and Sam always on that show to discuss the game in full. Then we'll have to celebrate the 1,000 subscribers, which we've hit. Thank you to each and every one of you. We do appreciate it. The only reason we've not mentioned it is because we're literally doing a full show dedicated to it on Friday.
We're also trying to get everybody on the channel on the show because everybody's got work, they got family commitments, etc. So we're trying to organise so everybody can get on the show, because everybody who's a part of this channel helped get us there. So we want everybody to be able to be on the show. So. Yeah,
and we're gonna go back and look at all things as well. It's gonna be interesting. So we're gonna celebrate that Friday. Then we have the Arsenal preview on Saturday, and then the Arsenal game on Sunday. So it's literally, and probably news in between that, transfer news and news about ownership. So
Saudi investor makes a bid Thursday.
Probably. It would not surprise me in the slightest. We're busy bees at the minute. So yeah, lots of content as always. Lots of stuff out on the socials. So make sure you check out Instagram. Getting very close to 1,000 followers now on Instagram.
Yeah,
literally, how many are we off?
Are there eight followers? 8. So if you're watching, there's 22 people in the chat. So if you're on here now and you're not following on the Instagram, if 22 of you all go follow there, we hit 1,000. So go follow us. Links are in the description, or the handles are just underneath us there. Aaron is saying, take 9 points from City, Palace, Arsenal. We could be considered title challengers. Yeah, definitely agree. Vince said, which one of you was at City game stuck up in the gods of the Stretford end? I was lucky. Sir Bobby Charlton said. That was Adam, the Irish lad.
Adam.
He was at the derby, the lucky bastard.
I know. So jealous. So jealous of him. Absolute limbs. Yeah. I bet he was loving it. Well, he was loving it. He was telling us.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else we're missing? Oh, yeah. Check out TikTok and Twitter, of course. Twitter, more for like usual updates. Like today, for example, the Jim Ratcliffe. We were straight on it. Like stuff like that. You will get literally minute by minute updates on it as and when it breaks. So check out the Twitter. And then the TikTok's just basically clips from this show. Very funny clips and really edits done by myself.
Yeah, really good edits on there, so go check them out. But yeah, if you want to have a laugh as well, go have a look at it. Yeah, it's funny moments.
For sure.
Yeah, do you fantasy league as well? If you're part of our fantasy league, get your fantasy team sorted. I believe I am in 10th, and Nick is shortly behind me, like 14th, 15th.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not far behind me. So yeah, you can obviously, if you're in the, obviously you can't join the league now, but if you're in the league and you win at the end, you get a nice retro football shirt. So if you're in the league, make sure you get your team sorted, make sure you get all the transfers in, etc. And yeah, let's be having it.
Yeah, we are supposed to be starting the FPL show back up, but it's been that hectic at the minute. It's been hard to fit it in, so we'll start doing that again. And looking at the top 4, Donkey of the Week, all that stuff, and we'll bring that show back. So that's just reminding me. As stated before, I'll be live an hour before kickoff on YouTube and TikTok. So come and join me for the watch along, please, and get your comments in, and we can go through the team together. Sam, any final words on this match for tomorrow?
No, Glazers out. Hopefully, before March, we've got new owners. That'd be really, really good. And let's win. Let's put ourselves in a really good position for Arsenal. And if we beat Arsenal, who knows what happens? Who knows?
Absolutely. Let's go do the business and keep that momentum for when we get to the Emirates. Are we in a title race?
Not yet.
Who knows? Who knows? Anything is possible. Let's see. We'll see you for the game tomorrow, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.